Hey, 60 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to Island Tea. I'm on my lonesome at the moment. Kortensia is off today as well. I'm just awaiting the arrival of Jonathan B. And then we can really get into things, So I have someone to bounce my ideas and my thoughts off of. In the meantime, you are welcome to call me and we can chit chat. But just suffice it to say that hopefully by today we should have our I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that we get our transmitter problem sorted out today. We've made some progress. I can tell you that the transmitter at Atlas is actually on. It's actually on. So if you tune in your radio and you hear dead silence, that means the transmitter is on. It's sort of like if you have a radio, so you have a CD player that's on, right? You're playing a CD and the CD stops playing. The radio is on, but the CD isn't playing because it's not playing. But so that's progress. The transmitter is on. It's just that we're not transmitting. It's not getting up to Atlas level. So we should have that sorted out by today. And hopefully we should have the spooner side sorted out as well. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And yeah, so JB has just joined me. It's on 90 minutes after 8 o'clock. I was just, what's up, Jay? I was just telling them. You there?
I hear.
Oh, okay.
I hear.
I was just telling them that about the progress we've made with getting the radio transmitters back up. So hopefully today, let's keep our fingers crossed. Definitely this week. Hopefully today we'll be back on the air for all the people who listen via radio. But just so you know, in the meantime, you can head over to the Win FM website, winmediaskn.com. We're always broadcasting there. And just so you know, this particular show, Island Tea, is actually simulcast on TVC Channel 40 on the cable. Did you know that? You didn't know that, right?
No, I didn't know. I did not know.
So now you know. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so and we have the good doctor coming up at 8:30, and this morning she's going to be dealing with vitamin D. Vitamin B, is it?
Whoa.
Vitamin B
Yeah,
deficiency.
no, that's a whole different soak or something. Yeah.
Yeah, last week was you should have been here because I'm like the guy in the
I should have been here at 8 o'clock.
No, because
man, that's a different story.
I was in the catbird seat last week because she was talking about prostate health and prostate stuff.
So she was
so everybody's watching
your prostate.
Not really, but every now and then I'm like, "What are you guys looking at me for?" You know. So,
you were in the interrogation room. I got you.
Yeah, but no, it's just my way of adding some comic relief to the proceedings.
I agree.
Okay,
I
so
agree.
it's the independence season we're heading up to, and you're the one who reminded me that next Monday is a big holiday.
Yeah. The holiday weekend starts this week.
It's so cool. So this is a holiday. Yeah. That's crazy, man. This is a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
When you look at it like that, it's like, damn, And
you said it on the ear?
Damn.
Yeah. You said it on the ear? That's legal?
Damn is like baby food. Come on, man.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
So Anything in the news that's sparking your interest? Or
Well, the we had traffic talk yesterday, and we had the what it was the manager, right? Correct.
yeah.
The manager of Public Works come in and talk. Move to the left a bit. Oh, okay. Okay. Am I good? Good Lord. Right.
Okay,
So
okay, folks. If you're watching, I was just telling him over the talk over to move.
yeah.
I gave him the wrong direction. I was telling him to move to the. What did I say? Move to the left.
Yeah, you tell me move to the
The
left.
left, and then I realized no, that would be his. Yeah.
So yeah, but for those of you who don't know, we're online on Facebook and on winfm.com. Just log in so you can see who's talking. It's me and Jamsta. I don't even think the camera on Jamsta. That's not fair. Y'all ain't gonna get to see Jamsta's sleepy face and nothing.
I ain't got no sleepy face.
Come on, every man is a mortal. But anyways,
I got my coffee, so
that's good. That's good. Traffic talk.
Yeah, you were saying
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Public Works was up in here yesterday, and they were explaining that they were doing some road work between, up at St. Peter's, right? So if those of you who were online yesterday or logged in via radio, you might have noticed that, yes, the roundabout is now gutted out. They're going to fix the roundabout right there at Shadwell. And that first ramp going into what I call the runway is that ramp part is fixed now. So yeah, some of you may have noticed this morning. So just be careful if you haven't touched the road yet for the morning. If you haven't,
give me directions as to where. Describe where that is.
The ramp is okay. So what I call the ramp is the coming off the roundabout going into Monkey Hills direction.
Like going past the gas station.
Yes, this is past the gas station.
They fixed it already?
So remember he said yesterday they were going to gut it out?
Yeah, but I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Fast, man.
So those of you who haven't touched the road yet, just be careful coming into the roundabout there by Shadwell. That is coming out of Buckley's or let's say Wade's Garden or Greenlands. Just be careful. It's a little bit of a bump, but these guys are working, and I can say I see the progress. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's.
And then that pothole that they recently patched up at ECCB by the roundabout that we spoke of yesterday, that has already been fixed too.
Okay.
Yeah. So So he ain't coming here. And he ain't even talking hot here. He talking facts. Like these men actually working.
And they're moving pretty fast too.
Yeah.
In the comments here, someone says, so we're gonna deal with that right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
You brought on Hermina Opoku says you brought on the new host yesterday, but I don't think he was properly introduced. And then Gwyneth Samuel says, I agree with that. No formal introduction. I agree he was not introduced. So, folks, this is Jonathan B, our new co-host. He's going to be joining me in Kortensia, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yeah. What do I say? Like,
just say, hi guys. I'm gonna be,
who I am, where I live, how old I am. 21 questions. We should play 21 questions on the air.
21 questions.
Like, where do you live? Who's your mom? Who you for? But yeah, guys, I'm Jonathan Brown. Some people call me J Black. You guys might have seen me around holding a camera. That is what I do for a living. Well, I know this because I consider this a full-time job to be getting up at mornings and making it here. Well, trying to make it here for 8 o'clock. I am sorry, guys. I'm going to apologize to everybody. I am just getting readjusted to the morning commute. The morning commute has gotten horrendous. I was not moving for about 10 minutes. I was baffled. But I'm going to be here tomorrow. Y'all can count on it. If y'all don't see me here at 8 o'clock tomorrow, y'all could come in.
I'm gonna pull him up.
Yeah, you gotta pull him up.
I'm gonna pull him up.
Yeah. Y'all could come in live and y'all could cuss me because I try to bring a good experience. Now we ain't all about this lateness thing, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay. I was about to say something. Something you said there made me think of when I go to the few instances when I go to church with my wife. Right. Mm-hmm. One of the things I hate, Jay, is after church. All the little old ladies, the older people, so who you for? I hate that.
I mean,
And me, I'm very direct, right? So I would actually go. Well, you didn't see me coming up to you asking you who you for or who you are. I came to church. I'm trying to mind my own business. And, no, serious. I'll tell them that. And then my wife, I can't believe it. I said, but did I go asking her?
Asking her who? You see, the thing is about it.
I'm a funny man like that.
The old people, and as you said, quote unquote old people, the seniors, they would have seen places like Bastille, the entirety of St. Kitts built from scratch, right? So we had Miss Henry on the live yesterday, and she spoke about how Bastille village and several other surrounding villages were divided and how they expanded over time. So people like Miss Henry, we have to curate her experiences, because these people grew up mapping the landscape. And of course, with the landscape, they mapped out their people and their families and what's not. So when they see people, it's like, okay, well, who are you for? Because, I've been around and I've never seen you. I don't even know where your roots are. And, and sometimes it counts to know. Because I've been in situations where
I don't know, man. It's not a matter of life and death.
Hello. Let me tell you something. I've been in situations where I might see a girl I like or something like that, right? And it's like, yeah, boy, she got it going on. But the first thing I gonna do is I gonna ask, well, who you for?
Well, that's different.
No, it's the same thing. Because sometimes we so closely knit is family.
I mean, come on. That's our trick to talk to the girl. Come on.
No, Jamsta. Huh? I done been in situations where I gone to party and I find out that the girl is cousin because somebody bed for me. And
in that sense.
In the funeral, it's like, yo, who she be? Because y'all get me nervous out here.
Okay, word. I take, okay.
Yeah, you gotta ask these questions, Jams. You gotta find out which tribe people from. It's very closely knit here.
But a lot of it is just this, it's just this full bore curiosity that is not rooted in anything. It's just about curiosity's sake. It's my thing is not a matter of life and death. I came to church. I just want to be left alone afterwards.
Bye. We fast. It's a new station we on. Jamsta. It's a new station we on.
Okay. I think the doc is here. It's
let me go get the door.
Okay.
Let me go get the door.
Oh. Okay, folks. So just reminding you, we are going to be we should be getting the transmitter problem resolved in a bit. Probably by today. Let's take this call in the meantime. We have weekly dose coming up next. Caller, go right ahead. Please be brief. We got weekly dose coming up in about a minute.
Good morning. I'll be brief.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Good. I hope this is not an attempt to replace Kortensia.
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, absolutely not.
No disrespect to
absolutely not. No. She's coming here tomorrow. Don't worry. She ain't going anywhere. If she decided, listen, if she decided to go anywhere, we would riot and picket. No, she's not going anywhere. Trust me.
I know you've had the habit of replacing all the pretty ladies, and that's unfortunate.
Nah, it ain't like that.
If the guys are handsome, they don't care about that.
It ain't like that. It ain't like that, man. No.
This thing about asking who you're for. For a moment, they thought you were talking politically.
No. They meant like who's your family and stuff like that.
Yeah. But really and truly, do you prefer to be like where you were in North America, where you're just a social security number or a number?
No. But at the same time, I guess I have my antisocial streak. So I'm like, I go to church and I really want to be left alone afterwards. So. I mean,
a lot of older folks look at church as socializing.
I guess. I'm like,
you could give them their moment of
Okay, so we're gonna continue this after. We have the good doctor here, and we're gonna come back. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we have weekly dose coming up. It's all about vitamin B deficiency.
Found the sound 99.9.
Have you heard the exciting news from Makana Ferry Service? Here goes! We've reinstated subsidized rates for 2024. So now you can travel to Sabre, Statia with a reduced return rate, and we introduce special same-day rates. Wait! There's more! You've asked for day trip to St. Martin? Well, now it's a reality! Yes, on the weekends. Also, with the introductory special same-day rates, giving you savings and affordable transportation options, where you save every time. And hear this, our new schedule now includes Anguilla. Go to www.makanaferryservice.com or call our local agents. Ship it for less at 869-466-1151 extension 2 or 662-3961. You can email makana@shipitforless.com. So now you know. Enjoy the sun, sand, and unforgettable celebrations this summer with Makana Ferry Service and the gift of connection.
That's the familiar sound of the school bell ringing to let you know that class is in session. Listen up, class. Let your parents know that the place to shop for your back-to-school essentials is the TVC Home and Building Depot in St. Kitts and City Drugstore Nevis Limited. Get up to 30% off backpacks, notebooks, pens, pencils, school bundles, printers, and more. And while they're there, be sure to have them ask about the tech tools for teachers so we can help you achieve even more success. And remind them about Flash Sale Fridays, when you can receive even more savings just in time for the new school year. Now you know. See you at TDC Home and Building Depot and City Drugstore Nevis Limited. Class is now dismissed. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Well, guess what? It's 8:33. The good doctor is in the house. Dr. Natalie Osborne. Welcome to Weekly Dose. Morning, Doc.
Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me. How is everybody on this beautiful Tuesday morning?
Well, I'm here enjoying my coffee, so I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't know about Jay, but
I go too. I'm just vibing. Just vibing. Yeah.
Okay.
okay. So it's time for Weekly Dose. I saw that it was all about vitamin. What prompted that today? That particular. I was telling him this morning that I was teasing him and telling him he should have been here. He should have been here
Last week,
because I tell him I'm always in the catbird seat when these male exclusive things come up, because I'm always telling them, what are y'all looking at me for?
No, well, so you have, well, it's not about male particular today, but I actually liked your question of asking what prompted this topic. So I'll start with a brief story. Usually I look for inspiration into bringing these topics. 46-year-old male comes off of a plane. He was called by his family. He's living in Tortola. He needs to come home, originally from St. Kitts, but hadn't lived in St. Kitts for over 30 plus years. So now he's 46. His family there says that he's not doing well. He needs to come home to his family here. He's lost a lot of weight significantly. He's a bit disoriented. He's acting strange. He's just ill, and everything that they've done there in Tortola, they're unaware. They've come to no conclusion, doing certain scans, doing ultrasounds, thinking that there must be some kind of tumor or cancer somewhere in the individual's body.
Right.
And it comes to a point that they're out of solution. He doesn't have health care in that foreign country. He's not a citizen, and they're crying, help. Come, we got to send you, your family member back to St. Kitts. So the individual gets to St. Kitts, and let's begin our studies. He is sick. He's behaving strange. He is urinating on himself. The weight loss becomes more. He has this weird Parkinsonian-like movement. So he's walking. I don't know if you've ever heard of that disease that's called Parkinson's.
Yes.
So they have this kind of tremor, and they kind of dragging their foot. They're not really lifting up. They're humped over. deeper, and this is someone who's 46 years old and you're wondering what's going on.
Right.
CT scan is done, ultrasounds, endoscopy studies, blood works are constantly being done, and then this individual is getting worse. He's hospitalized because there is this mystery. It even comes a point where conversations are going back and forth that this might be some kind of what you call that voodoo or obia, because people have done something wrong to him. He's known to have had some problems with persons, and this must be something. And then we're going back and forth. And I'm the principal on it because actually I'm a family member and I'm struggling now. Everyone in my family is looking at me to come up with a solution. What you're doing about this thing? I ordered every single test I could think about. Then I said, okay, we got to put him in the hospital. We got to see what's going on. Getting some help from internal medicine specialists and stuff. Then eventually we go and we did some other blood works and we included a vitamin B12 level, and that was to the ground. And then I said, what is this? And once you realize that, you start looking and doing research and looking at all the symptoms, and it fit perfectly for what was going on with the individual for months without having an answer. Start getting the treatment. Voila, in weeks the person was different.
Okay, well, I'm going to reserve my question
Yes,
for
so we're
after.
gonna- yes.
For after, yes. So,
But you see, she just answered my main question, to be honest. You
So
know?
that's a synopsis, and it's usually something that triggers off all of these discussions. So we're going to talk about vitamin B12 deficiency, and it's not as uncommon as we think that it is. So let's go right ahead.
Okay.
okay, so introduce us to what
What
has
is-
been.
yeah.
What is
about,
the
yeah.
B12 deficiency all about?
Okay, so vitamin B12 is one of what we call an essential vitamin. What does that mean? Your body does not produce it on its own. It has to be consumed. It has to be brought in, okay, to the body. For it is responsible. It participates in a lot of neurological protection, neurological development, your nerves, right down to your DNA. Okay, your functioning of your cells is also important for formation and development of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is element found in the red blood cells that are responsible for carrying oxygen around. When your hemoglobin is low, you've heard that your blood count is low.
Right.
All of these are symptoms associated, and you have abnormal cell development when your vitamin B12 is low. So it can lead to a lot of different symptoms, psychological, neurological, or gastrointestinal, where it affects the GI system.
And so we okay, so you've basically explained that. What is vitamin B12 itself?
So we know that it's, I just essentially said that it's a essential vitamin absorbed. It comes from animal products principle. So you're going to have your poultry, your meats, okay, your eggs, your cheese, and all these animal products. And it tends to be deficient in persons who are long-term vegans, because they have no ingestion of these products, because they're strict vegans. Some persons who are not as strict, who may consume eggs and milk and cheese from the animal,
Or maybe
they,
fish, yeah.
and fish. So those persons who are very extreme, over time they can go into a vitamin B12 deficiency if it's not fortified by other supplemented.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because No, I was gonna say that was my next question, because I was like, how? So this person was a vegetarian?
No.
No, okay. I'm just wondering how.
No.
Wow.
And
That was a
and
strange
then
thing.
what should your daily intake of B12 what should it be? How many grams?
Well, it's micrograms. And it
Micrograms.
sounds like it's not a lot. It's about 2.4 in the average report. So micrograms. We don't even know how to measure that. But and the beautiful thing about it, it is stored in the liver. And it is known that you can have not consume any vitamin B12 for 5 to 10 years, and you'll have enough
Really?
storage in your liver. So it's almost hard to be deficient in it. It should be kind of difficult to be deficient in it. But there are multiple reasons why you're deficient. It's not enough just because of intake. You have other reasons why you're deficient in this vitamin B12, because your body, your GI tract, your stomach, your intestine is not using the B12 that you ingest adequately for many different reasons, and it's not being absorbed. Okay, and so then you have that problem of the vitamin B12. So how does your body absorb this vitamin B12? You ingest it, it goes into your stomach. It's important to have an acidic environment in the stomach. There are particular cells in the stomach, parietal cells, that produce this hydrochloric acid, that is necessary. It also produces another element that's called intrinsic factor, and that vitamin B12 needs to be absorbed and carried in the body by these elements. If you have a deficiency, or your hydrochloric acid, your stomach acid, is prolongedly decreased, so over time, persons who take these proton pump inhibitors and they decrease the release of hydrochloric acid, they can have vitamin B12 absorption deficiency and different things like that.
Okay.
I think my thing may have been cut off. Oh, okay. Oh, finally. Mine was actually cut off as well.
What's that?
The email, I just realized I was having, it wasn't going past.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, no problem.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I thought you were about to ask a question. Okay. So, we just spoke about how common it is, but actually, I didn't think we cover like how common is the B12 deficiency? Because you said it's not very uncommon.
So, okay, it is seen mostly, especially as you get older. It says about 15%, sometimes a little less. It has a wide range, because I saw from 1.5 to 15% in the population. It increases as you get older, especially over the age of 60. As your GI system, as everything becomes older, the absorption capability, there are changes that goes on. Sometimes older persons do not eat as well either, and they drop off in the vitamin B12. And as you see that happening, sometimes you start thinking, oh, he's just getting old. You start having neurological symptoms. You think that he's becoming senile, but that's all because of the vitamin B12 deficiency. And along with the case that I mentioned at the beginning, that individual, I've seen at least 3 other cases of vitamin B12 deficiency leading to admission of to the hospital because of that severe vitamin B12 deficiency just in this year alone.
Okay, so it's more prominent.
It's more prominent, and sometimes the symptoms are so wide and so much different symptoms that you start thinking of other things.
You
Right.
kind of overthink it.
And
You think it's
you're
much worse than it
unsure,
is.
and especially when you see it in an older individual, you just start thinking it's a natural decline of that individual.
Okay. So
Okay.
so what causes vitamin B?
Yes, so we mentioned a lot of it along in the conversation thus far. It starts with persons who do not consume enough animal products, vitamin B12. We said that it is found mostly in meats, poultry, eggs, cheese, fish, those kind of animal products. Okay, if you do not get it via that, you need to have it in foods that are fortified with vitamin B12, cereals, different grains and stuff.
What kind of cereals? This is where it gets interesting for cereal eaters.
Yes, lots of different. You would see it fortified with vitamin B12, fortified with different vitamins and stuff. You'll see it on some of these labels.
Have you
most of
any
those cereals-
examples of these cereals?
I don't know.
Most
particularly.
cereals,
Yeah,
they would add
mostly,
those.
yeah.
They would add those, yeah. If they're not there naturally. Yeah.
So you can fortify.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yes, so
Alright.
you can have things like gastritis. We said that the vitamin B12 is absorbed in the stomach. So you need things like the stomach walls to be functioning well. If there's inflammation, you can have the deficiency in absorption. Although you are consuming it, it is not being absorbed. If you have certain gastrointestinal pathologies like inflammatory bowel disease. You've heard of things like Crohn's disease. Those are inflammation of the bowels, the small intestines, where the vitamin B12 is absorbed. There is malfunction in that. Celiac diseases.
Right.
Okay? Certain medication, if you use them over a long period of time, a common one is metformin. Diabetics use this metformin quite frequently for the control of their blood sugars, and over time that can decrease the amount of vitamin B12 or the absorption of the vitamin B12. We spoke about things like proton pump inhibitors. You hear them or see them in the market all the time, like your omeprazole. You hear so when you have acidic stomach, people tell you to buy and use a lot of these drugs. So you get some of them in from the market, the Zantac and different things like that. Alcohol use can also do that as well too. Chronic alcohol abuse can damage the digestive system, leading to deficiency in the absorption of vitamin B12.
Because alcohol goes straight to the liver, correct?
Well,
I mean, not straight to the liver, but it destroys the liver.
Ultimately,
yes.
And it can create problems and inflammation in the stomach.
Right.
Okay, so you alluded to these at the top, but could you get into the symptoms of vitamin B12 deficiency?
Okay, these symptoms, and I want to keep in mind the patient that I spoke to you about earlier, because these symptoms were so marked in the individual. Wow. So 3 general groups of symptoms: neurological symptoms, we spoke about that, psychological symptoms, and digestive symptoms. So feeling weak because your nerves and stuff are damaged or injured, you don't have this energy, you have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Okay, significant weight loss. Okay, you can have mouth sores. There was a specific characteristic he described about the tongue, that this beefy red tongue, and the patient had that. The tongue, you see, we have little bumps on the tongue. The tongue becomes smooth, so it's called a glossitis.
Wow.
You've seen persons with the side of their mouth that is cracked. That can be a sign of vitamin B12 deficiency.
Are you checking to see if I have got some mileage?
Yes. Persons then start to have, they can become insomnia. They're not sleeping well. They're confused. They're disoriented. The lack of concentration, and this individual had that. The change in movement. They become hunched over. We spoke about the Parkinsonian-like symptoms where they have this shuffling gait and they kind of dragging their feet as they walk. Okay, they have loss in their memory. They're unable to recall a lot of things, like some of the neurological symptoms. They have numbness. They complain of a lot of this numbness. I saw a young lady earlier this year with these symptoms: numbness in her hands and feet, like pins and needles. We call that paresthesia, to the point that she was unable to write. Okay, the person can feel depressed. All of these are neurological symptoms. They become aggressive. They have change in their mood, because I guess in their mind they're wondering what's going on, and it's hard to find an answer. They have mood swings like that. Vision problems. We said that they have hard time remembering basic common information, and we spoke about having difficulty walking and stuff. Yeah, and they feel very irritable. So it's a broad constellation of symptoms, and sometimes a lot of these symptoms are found in a lot of these different diseases, like all of the gastrointestinal symptoms. They would vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, the weight loss. So you're thinking, what could this be?
Right.
So let's get into the spectrum of risk factors for vitamin B12 deficiency.
Okay, what are some of the risk factors in vitamin B12? Persons as they get older. We spoke about advancing age. Your body, you're at more risk of developing vitamin B12 deficiency because your body sometimes loses its ability to absorb it, okay? You could have things like gastrointestinal disorder. We've spoken about things like Crohn's disease, celiac disease, where there is the walls of the intestines, they have chronic inflammation, and they're not functioning as they should, and you cannot absorb this vitamin B12. Persons who have a strict vegan diet, we spoke about that. If you don't intake the vitamin B12, you don't have it, okay? And certain medications. So you're at risk. If you're diabetic and you're taking metformin, long term, it can decrease the absorption. We also spoke about different antacids, things that decrease the acid in the stomach, commonly known as proton pump inhibitors. We call them PPIs. Lots of those drugs, when people have acidic stomach or ulcers, you're treated with those things. They can, in long term, we're not talking about using them for a month or so.
Yeah, right.
Persons who use them for long term, you can have these things. Okay? And they even mention things like in cases like long term use of birth control pills.
Really?
Wow. Okay.
Alcohol abuse too.
Oh, wow.
So the research shows that these are some of the risk factors associated with vitamin B12 deficiency.
I guess the Rastas and the vegetarians are going to be up in arms.
No,
Following a strict vegan or vegetarian diet.
But
So then these individuals will have to then consume their supplements and their vitamins, because over time, if you do not have any intake, it will become deficient.
and you can't find this in any fruits.
No, so it's not in any food. It's not going to be found
Any
in
ground provision, nothing. Wow.
no, it's
that's
not. So it's not
crazy.
something that is found. That's why foods are fortified with it or added.
Right,
So
right.
that's where your supplements will come in as well.
Okay.
And I'm noticing the pattern of with these risk factors of either natural or artificial biochemical interference with its absorption. That seems to be a big part of it. I notice. Okay. How is vitamin B12 deficiency treated?
Well, you just get your vitamin B12. That's why I lead you
Yeah,
back to the
well.
case. That once you were, it was diagnosed that the individual had a deficiency in vitamin B12, of course now you give them vitamin B12. So it
Okay.
can be given as an injection, injectable. That was done for about a week every day. Then you extend it to once every week, then once every month. And over a period of time, you can, if it is not significantly low, as in this individual had such a low level of vitamin B12, you can ingest it orally as well, to giving your patient supplements of vitamin B12. They said also that they have nasal sprays that of vitamin B12, that you can use nasal gels, nasal sprays, but most commonly used is the injectables, where you give it in the muscles, or the oral tablets.
And that's if it gets to an extreme.
Of course, because once you've made the
Right.
diagnosis,
Right.
how are you going to make the diagnosis? You check your blood levels of vitamin B12.
Right.
Okay? And if those levels are extremely low, along with the fact that you've seen all of these clinical manifestations, because it's important to know as well, the longer the person goes with these neurological, psychological symptoms, they can become permanent. Okay, some of the changes because of the destruction that is taking place at the level of the neurological level,
Right,
and there is no adjustment, then we can have a problem. But if it is diagnosed early, you give the adequate treatment of the vitamin B12, you can see how significantly these person improved. I would tell you about the patient, because the patient have had a lot of these neurological changes, the changes in the tongue, the memory loss, the confusion. And once they started getting the vitamin B12, it's a whole complete different persons. I remember the thinning of the hair too. That's another common symptom. The hair was so thin and frail, and he lost a lot of his hair volume. And once that was corrected, the hair became thick and healthy, and it became back to his original lustrous state. Okay, started putting on weight.
Right.
That gait that he had, that kind of shuffling, humped over gait, was gone. I told you that the individual can have, they can urinate often on their self. Like an adult male is just unable to hold his urine. That resolved as well. The diarrhea resolved. Okay, to the point when you have to now tell the individual, watch it, you're putting on too much weight because it's gone from one extreme to the next. Okay, the memory has improved significantly. Oh, and just a couple months ago, we had another patient admitted to the hospital and the medical service with quite similar symptoms of severe vitamin B12. And to be honest, to this point, we haven't really identified what exactly caused that. Sometimes you may not know a specific answer. Even with the endoscopy was normal, so a lot of these studies were normal to know exactly what the cause is.
So how can vitamin B12 deficiency be prevented? I imagine after treating that patient, you would have told them, okay, this is what you're going to have to do from now on. Make sure you do. So let us know what that is.
And we
That's
also have to
why-
say it for the people on the ear too.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Prevented. Look at what causes it. Okay, so you've got to make sure that you have enough dietary intake of your vitamin B12. If you're vegan or vegetarian, well, if you eat fish or pescatarian, you can get it via the fish. But
Thank
if you
God.
don't eat anything at all, over time your vitamin B12 stores would become depleted. So you're going to have foods that are fortified or added vitamin B12. You want to avoid alcohol. We said that it can create chronic alcoholic gastritis that can prevent the absorption of the vitamin B12. You want to keep an eye on the older folks because what you think may be natural decline or he's just aging could be symptoms associated with a vitamin B12 deficiency. All the weight loss that you see, the slowing down, the complaints of numbness and tingling in their limbs, you may think it's just their diabetes. It can be associated with their vitamin B12 deficiency. So you can check on those.
So I can't go out on Fridays to drink anymore?
We're saying not to abuse.
Not to abuse it. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah,
Just
uh-huh.
want to make it clear
Yeah.
for the people that listen to the show on Friday mornings and start the early morning drinking and stuff like that. Don't abuse the alcohol, please.
Don't have a whole bottle of Casamigos. That's what you're saying.
You sound like you're talking from experience.
Okay, so what's the prognosis for vitamin B12?
Well, the prognosis is usually pretty good, and the earlier it is diagnosed and treated, then the person can have resolution of almost all of their symptoms. The longer it is allowed to prolong, because this can be go on for years unidentified, then you can have a problem with that.
Right.
Okay, so if it is diagnosed early, you can resolve a lot of the peripheral paresthesia, the numbness and things like that. Okay, and so the outlook can be very good once the person is treated adequately.
Oh, okay, so we spoke about the preventative measures. So how does one do like checkups besides blood tests for deficiency, B12 deficiency?
Well, it's just going to be your blood test. That's essentially important. The same way if you go to do your annual blood works and
Right,
stuff.
right.
Yes, that can be a requirement. You
And
can,
the B12 is among the tests, or is it something separate? Because I know like different blood tests
Okay,
need different.
we
yeah.
do. Okay, to answer that question, there's some routine. We call them routine blood tests. When you go just for a routine checkup, there's some blood tests you're gonna do. You're gonna check your liver, your kidney, your blood count, and
Right,
those things.
right.
But if there's symptoms or there's suspected symptoms, your physician, your healthcare provider should be aware of these symptoms so he can make that connection and say, let's do a vitamin B12 level to see where it is.
Right.
But it's not a typical test that you run and do every
Okay,
day.
okay.
If you've had a problem also with a deficiency in vitamin B12, when you do your routine blood test, you then would ask for that one as well too. As you go and do your follow-ups over the years, you should keep a check on that.
It occurred to me from the beginning that I imagine there's a chance when you're doing diagnosis of overthinking or thinking things are much worse than they are. At what point do you kind of, let's say, self-correct and say, you know what, let me check for, like in the case where you said you eventually added the test for B12. How does that process work? Because like you're thinking the worst and then it turns out.
Yeah.
know?
I
Yeah,
get that.
uh-huh.
It's like a mystery. I like detective mysteries and those series, those true crime series, and you're wanting to get to an answer. The crime is committed, for example, and you'd start your investigation. So you have a disease, you have symptoms, and you're trying to pull as much information. First thing in medicine, though, common things are common, and you have to think about them. So, for example, vitamin B12 can give you anemia as well, but it's not the most common cause of anemia. But you always have to keep certain things in the back of your mind. Once you've checked or done the routine test, the more common test, and you did not get an answer, then you have to start thinking more outside of the box. Do various tests that you wouldn't do typically in the average person.
Sort of process of elimination.
So it's a process of elimination. It's an investigative work like anything else. If you try this and this didn't work, or you did this particular test and it came back normal, it didn't give you the answer that you wanted, then you say, okay. But you will not do a vitamin B12 level if you do not think about it, if you do not have experience with managing a person with vitamin B12 deficiency, because the symptoms can be lots of symptoms that you can see in a number of diseases, okay?
Was that your first time seeing it get to that extreme?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. With the significant weight loss, with the low blood count, with the person just looking ill at 46, they just started looking like a 50 or 60-year-old.
Right.
You start thinking the worst case scenario.
I could imagine how that must have been.
CT scan is coming up negative, and then you start thinking, do we need an MRI now? Because maybe the CT scan is missing something. Because the symptoms were so marked and so drastic. But they happened over a period of time. And he was in Tortola. He was hospitalized, given blood transfusion, worked up by different specialties. He had a biopsy done. And all of these things were negative. And unless you think about a vitamin B12 deficiency, and you're not thinking in a 46-year-old, you're going to have a vitamin B12 deficiency. It tends to occur in much older individuals.
So in the blood transfusion, right? If you get a blood transfusion and let's just say it's rich with B12, isn't the B12 stored in the blood as well, apart from the liver? Because I know we said about the liver earlier, but what about the blood?
Well, the B12, it is important in the formation or in DNA synthesis formation, right down to your cellular level.
Right.
It's important in hemoglobin formation, which gives us, that capacity to carry oxygen. So it's inside the red blood cells. But it's not just typically floating around in your blood.
Okay.
Once your body has used what it needs, the rest is stored in the liver. So you're thinking once the person got the transfusion...
Well, I think it goes gas and exhaust, right? So I'm thinking maybe it's existent in the gas and the exhaust. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to simplify it for people who are listening. So it's just maybe the blood is rich with it, but you're saying it's not something that exists in the blood. It's just something that the body...
Hold on a second. So,
yeah.
Hold on a second. We are saying that the vitamin B12, okay,
Yes.
it gets into the GI system, get in your stomach. It is absorbed to the gastrointestinal wall.
Right.
It forms part of the synthesis and the development of the
Right.
nerves, the red blood cells, right down to your DNA level.
Right.
So once your body has that and it forms the healthy cells, the rest is stored. Okay, the rest of that vitamin B12 is stored, and it is pulled from the liver on demand. Like, for
Okay.
example, if your stores are going low and you're not consuming enough, then it has some there. Because remember, we said it's essential. It
Okay.
is not produced inside the body. It has to be brought in.
Got you.
Okay?
Okay. All right.
I think it's a little concerning that the VI people didn't think like you to check for, after all those other things didn't work. I think,
Remember, you see, it's not
I guess.
decide. So let's be careful not to go down that path, because it is not the most common thing that's going to happen. And in an age group like that, the more common thing you start thinking some kind of malignancy is somewhere,
Fair
and we
enough,
have got to
fair
find
enough.
it. With that marked, the individual was over 200 pounds and got down to like 32 at one point.
Right.
Yes, so you're not thinking the vitamin B12. That's not the first thought. You're thinking some malignancy is there. Okay, and one of the characteristics of having a cancer is weight loss. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So there's a comment here that says, semi funny. Well, it's funny but true. This is proof you're supposed to eat meat.
Why? I mean, I ain't gonna push the agenda on here, but I mean, she did say that you can get it in supplements as well.
Yes.
Yes.
If you're not going to eat meat and you choose not to, because you get most of your vitamins and stuff from your grains, your vegetables,
Your grown
and
provision,
stuff.
yeah.
But if you're not going to eat meat at all, or no kind of fish, cheese, nothing like that, then you're going to have to supplement it.
You're gonna have to supplement.
You're going to
right?
have to supplement.
Right.
Okay.
That's
All
crazy.
right. So, Doc, we give you the last word. We don't have any call. We didn't get any calls, but as always, this is very interesting. The thing that I find, the thing that that still kind of boggles my mind is that this person actually, that this can actually happen to someone, because I'm thinking if you're eating even a moderately healthy and varied diet, well, I guess maybe some people don't eat a moderate, varied diet, so it's kind of interesting to see that this can actually happen.
I used to get like licks from my mom when I didn't take my vitamins when I was younger. She used to be like, you need to get, I'm like, what B12 for? Everything. I'm like, what is everything? Everything. But it's literally for everything now. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, she used to say that?
Oh, trust me. No,
okay.
King. We had like, we had a whole breakfast with like salad and what's not she prepared. And then and on the side, we had like maybe like 2 or 3 pills of like supplements as kids, you know? Like she was keen on that. So,
Okay,
you know,
that's good.
bless up, you know, can, don't mommy at all, bye. Yeah.
Okay, Doc.
Okay, so thank you for so it's
Natalie House.
important. It's important that we keep these things in mind. Our purpose here every week is to educate our audience, because sometimes as an informed patient, an informed individual, if you're aware of certain things, you can go to your doctor and say, Doc, I think we need to do a vitamin B12 level because I am having these symptoms. Because sometimes you definitely have to be your advocate, and you have to be an active participant in your healthcare. The doctors, the physicians, the healthcare providers are not going to know everything, so that support is always needed. So once you're informed and you're educated, you can have a much more robust discussion with your physician as well too. Okay, so that's my takeaway. So the informed patient, the educated patient is always the better patient when they go in, because you've got to advocate for yourself. I tell my patients, you're with you 24/7. You know your symptoms. I'm going to see you for 10, 15 minutes at the most, okay? And then I'm gone. But then you have to know what your body is telling you, make the observation. Jot down things when you go to your physician so you know what questions you want to ask. So that 15, 20 minutes you're there, you get the most out of it. So you're not there, and then when you leave, you start thinking, oh, I should have asked that, I should have done this. So write your questions, write down your symptoms. Don't be afraid to do that, because sometimes you're seated there and you're so nervous at times, you're not able to bring out all that you want to say at that particular time.
Right. Yeah. So when you reach a mechanic, you gotta describe which songs you're hearing in the car. Clang, 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 clang. Yeah. On the car, on the right side. Okay, cool. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. So have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you,
Okay.
doctor.
Bye-bye.
The good doctor.
Yes, so weekly dose, that's it's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, and as always, interesting insights into the world of medicine. So she will be back next week, 8:30, right here on Win FM.
Boom.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skelett got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. You feel only Nima can give safety tips? Well, Skelett can too. So be sure to stay tuned to Skellett's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skellett's hurricane safety tips, Together, we can weather the storm.
Reliable and responsible. Skelec is here for you. Powering our community.
If you live in low-lying areas, be aware of the possibility of tsunamis immediately after an earthquake. A strong earthquake lasting 20 seconds or more is a natural tsunami warning. Do not wait for an official warning. Gather your family members and evacuate immediately after the shaking stops. Don't delay. A tsunami could occur within minutes.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with Win FM.
Okay, it's 10 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we got a phone call coming in, so we're gonna go straight to the phone. Call, go right ahead.
Hey, am I live?
Yes, you're live.
I don't know. I want to be on the studio. I want to go studio.
But you call the hotline to go to the studio.
Oh, sorry.
And I don't think there's no one else here at the moment. So
I need to talk to somebody.
yes, but what I'm saying, there's no one in the office at the moment. So can you call back? Call back about 10 o'clock or so.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, great. Okay, folks. So yeah, we are back. I just wanted to point out. Let me see. I saw a story last night. I mean, it's probably nothing to worry about, but I did see a story last night about the weather officials trying to keep us up to date about what we can expect in the coming weeks.
Right.
Most of them are nothing to worry about. But this was an advisory for last night. It says Senkis Meteorological Services and NEMA are closely monitoring the progress of an area of disturbance that has been designated as Invest 82L in the Central Atlantic Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
The National Hurricane Center is giving Invest 92L a moderate chance of developing in the next 2 to 7 days. Residents are urged to closely monitor the progress of this Invest as it approaches our area by the upcoming weekend. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Let's just hope it doesn't pan out into anything, because like last week they were like at one point there were three systems they were looking at, and then,
one time.
Yeah, and then I think 2 days later there was like another 5. So I'm assuming this might be one of those 5, which is now maybe looking slightly more problematic than before.
Yeah, the weather was a little elevated yesterday too. I saw some water spouts yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, over the peninsula. When last did you see a water spout?
I don't think, maybe once.
Maybe once.
When I think about it, yeah, maybe once or so. Really? So you saw? Really?
Yeah, a water spout was over like Peninsula Way, heading over into Antigua's direction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what a tornado is on land. A water spout is basically a tornado over. It's crazy.
For those of you who didn't know,
there's a question here. Doctor is gone. What
maybe I could answer it.
Yeah, maybe you could. Was wondering how the doctor's thesis applies to people in India.
Okay,
interesting. That would have been a good question. We can ask next week. Who abstain from meat and also vegetarians in general. Well, she did talk about that. That it clearly shows that we need to eat. Okay, I mean, like I'm looking at the list here: animal food products, red meat, fish, poultry, eggs, milk, and other dairy products. Like I love cheese, so I guess I'm
cheese?
good. Yeah, I love cheese.
Unfortunately, I can't eat cheese.
You can't eat cheese.
Me so immortal like you, but we can't live like that.
I kind of keep milk to the minimum because I like milk. I mean, like I'll eat cake. Don't get me wrong. I'll eat anything that has milk in it. I eat ice cream, blah blah blah. But generally, I mean, I put some milk in my coffee. But I need to ask the doctor about this. I'm wondering if there's such a thing as intermittent lactose intolerance, because no, seriously, because sometimes I would say maybe 2 times out of 10 I might have these weird, But it could have been that particular milk product, right? As in,
maybe something was in the milk.
maybe
that your
something
body
was in the milk. Yeah,
didn't
because
agree with.
yeah, because I don't think I'm necessarily lactose intolerant. I've never really had a problem. I mean, I don't play when it comes to cake and ice cream, and they're gonna get slaughtered.
Jamsta, you calling yourself a fatty?
I didn't say that. Everybody gotta eat. Everybody's in fat.
I'm sure there are a lot of listeners out there that could relate. I am also a fatty. I don't play when it comes to cake, G.
Neither do I.
Cake in the room by Jonathan B.
telling
Come on
you.
now.
I'm
Come
telling
on
you.
now.
I know some guys who think that they're too manly to eat cake. They say cake. I have actually had a guy say cake is for girls.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, it's, wow,
like-
fragile masculinity is a thing.
So I'm like, okay, that more cake for me.
Like, your voice gonna get extra squeaky when you start indulging in cake.
Yeah, I think things like pie and so those things are for girls. Really?
Wow. Pie?
More for me?
What about macaroni pie? That count?
Probably not.
Okay, cool. Okay, like apple pie and them things.
I guess they'll argue it's not really a pie, you know. We just call it a macaroni pie, but it's really like a casserole, I guess.
It's a casserole. It's a
Yeah,
casserole. Yeah, it's a casserole.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the it's Independence season now. I think I told you, I don't know if I mentioned to you that tomorrow we're gonna have Dr. Cameron Gill coming in.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna be discussing some what we're calling Liam Eagle lore, little known facts about St. Kitts Nevis. I mean, like yesterday we kind of had a thing going, which was very interesting.
With the villages and the boundaries and how the boundaries were made and how they extended over time.
You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's where do you live?
West Farm.
West Farm. Okay. So would you say would you say you know a lot about West Farm?
I can't say I know everything. I know some things. I know about the Fairview Inn. As the history, it's here and there for me. You know, I feel like I've heard this stuff as a child, as an adult, and it's just like, okay, boy, it right there. So if I want to find out, I could just check it. Yeah.
So Boyd's and West Farm are the same, basically.
Okay, so this is where it is now, right? So in that area, you have Palmetto Point, Boyd's, and West Farm.
And Trinity.
No, Trinity is a
separate?
parish.
Oh, that's the parish.
Yes, Trinity is a
that's
parish.
a parish.
Yes,
Oh.
Trinity is a parish.
Okay.
Now, people generalize it and say, well, I live Trinity. No, Trinity is very big, right? Trinity extends from, some people might say it's not Challengers, but I think it's from Challengers all the way to just by Rams, I think. And after that, I think it's St. George's. I could be wrong. If anybody could come on the live and correct me, I'm open to it.
No, you're wrong. Because remember, that's St. George's 3.
Right,
Yeah, okay.
St. George's, right?
Okay, yeah, that's
right,
true.
right.
'Cause
Some people
St.
might say
George's has
village,
has
but
3. Okay, I'm thinking electoral. Yeah, but
and then
St.
some
George's-
people might know because of the electoral boundaries.
Yeah, which is another weird thing,
constituencies.
which really shouldn't have anything to do with it because we were just talking about the geography of the
Right.
of the
But some people might know
subdivisions the
because of
country.
that process.
Yeah, because you realize
yeah.
what I just said when you said St. George. My first thought, St. George's.
Right,
3,
right.
As opposed to, this is where St. George's Parish
Right.
begins.
So some people might say they live West Farm. I'm like, we're in West Farm, and they can't say because then what happens?
So it
is-
would have been better if they said they live Trinity.
Well,
in the
not
parish.
necessarily, but they would generalize everything as either Boyd's or West Farm. But what happens is Boyd's and West Farm started expanding into the mountains. So that mountainside going over into Johnson Longpat. Johnson Longpat is a stretch between the two Rosses or the two schools, right? That area is called Trinity Heights.
Oh, that street? That's what Johnson Longpath.
Yeah, that
the
long
main, so the
stretch
main
of
road
road.
there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Johnson Longpat. Yeah.
I've always heard that, but for some reason I never really thought about.
Yeah, Johnson Longpat is a very important part of the commute for
Johnson Longpat.
people coming from the countryside because it's crazy. People can understand why I say it's crazy because it's when the Ross students are trying to get to school. There are 2 traffic wardens there, and they pretty much direct the flow of the commute at mornings.
I just realized I don't really know the western boundary of St. George.
Yeah, I
So-
think I think it stops at by the time you reach Buckley's, I think that is when St. George is that. I think so. I could be wrong. If anybody in the comments comes in and say, well, this is the case, I'll be like, okay, cool. Like, no problem. But remember we said Keon Street starts at the roundabout. The Buckley's roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
So technically Rams is in Trinity.
Arguably.
Rams
yes,
long
arguably.
they call it Village Walk.
Yeah.
So Camps is in Trinity. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting to think. I don't think most people think of it that way.
Yeah.
So it means Camps and Buckley's is the westernmost part of Bastia, you could say.
You can say that, yeah.
Okay.
Because, of course, there's a West Bastion, there's an East Bastion.
Yeah. Call out, go right ahead.
Hey, good morning.
I knew it was you.
Oh, boy.
You call me, I come.
Yeah. We were hoping you'd call.
I actually taught at Trinity School, you know.
Oh, okay.
Okay, boy. Wow.
You know where the church is?
Yes, I know where the church
Trinity
is.
begins by McKinley.
Huh? Trinity. Say that again?
Actually, she's right. She's right. Yeah, it's true.
That is Camps.
It's true.
Okay, yeah.
You know McKinley?
Yeah, we know Mattingly.
You know, Miss Henry, you're right, because I know when I'm down in Mattingly, right, and I check my phone for like the weather and so, it always says Trinity Palmetto Point, and I never really thought about it, but now that you say it, the phone is correct.
You have, West Palm has two parts, you know.
Right. Go ahead.
The Abbott.
The Abbott, yes.
Is on the southern side.
Yes.
And then they got the yard on the northern side.
The what on the northern side?
The estate yard.
The estate yard. Okay, yes, correct. Which is on the mountainside.
Okay.
Okay, so for context, for those of you who don't know, if you're going down countryside, you're passing Ross, there's a wall, a huge brick wall that runs along the road. So
I think it has a building to it, you know.
there's a building to it. Yes. There's a building behind there. Is an old estate yard, and
there was actually another. What do you think name now? Oh gosh, I forget. Another village was before you reached to the estate yard. There was another village across from the Abbott on the northern side.
You mean Trinity Heights?
No, man. After you leave, Ross coming down the road. But it began with that D, but the name slipping me.
A B?
I don't think anybody lived there now, but it was a village. There's a lady there who said she was born there. And all the old people remember.
A B? It starts with a B?
With a D, a D.
A D, okay.
So you're coming down the hill from Ross.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mean Jewels? It wouldn't be
right?
part of Jewels, no?
No,
Jewels is in Bastille.
No, Duas next to
Sure
Buckley's.
it's gonna be it extended
To the back of Buckley's,
westward.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's between Buckley's and Camps.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I used to roam all those places there. We got look cherry, then little red cherry. The whole fencing up by the bones. The bones them used to live in Jewels.
Yeah.
And there was that's an estate too, eh?
Yes. I know that estate.
Yeah, they had a few cane fields. There's a sugar mill.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
That belonged to Jewels estate.
Right.
So then it goes down to I think Trinity and in St. Thomas.
No, but Trinity is a parish.
No, Trinity is a parish, Miss Henry.
Not Trinity, I mean Challengers. It's Challengers are talking about.
I think Challengers is still Trinity.
St. Thomas.
Like some people say that's where St. Thomas starts, but I feel like that's the end of Trinity.
Right.
But Miss Henry, answer this. So, is Camps in Trinity or St. George?
Camps is in St. George's.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
so more or less, yeah.
Itself and at see where the hospital road is.
Yes.
The one to the east. Trafalgar Road or St. Johnson, but that is the end of Bastille.
Oh.
Huh?
No, because we're conflating St. George's
and Bastille,
with Bastille.
right? Okay.
When you can have other areas.
So
of St. George
technically,
that are
it
not
starts in Village. So Bastille starts in Village. That's what you're saying?
Bastille end at the end of Russell Village. So all that with the Democrat and so people say Bastille, but they actually rural area in Bastille.
Okay.
Okay, wow. Okay, now we're using rural and urban now.
Interesting. So technically,
I remember all in my growing up days, all of those places were cane fields, you know.
Okay, all right. Miss Henry, I got a question for you.
So the brewery is not in Bastia then? I mean,
No, but we don't say so, right?
We just say so. We just say so.
Well, actually, it's Buckley's.
It's Buckley's. It is Buckley's.
Buckley's geographically is not
Yeah.
in Bastia, but we say so.
Okay.
Right. So Miss Henry, where does country start? Does it start?
Country start from the road I tell you. The road, it is called Trafalgar Road.
No,
Where the
I'm talking about like,
African-
okay, you know, some people that say West Farm is not country.
Well, darling, this country thing is a funny thing, you know.
But it's a funny thing for real.
Road, and they say that they ain't live country. So.
Oh my gosh. Why? That's an ongoing debate of mine. Yeah.
Hey, a commenter says
And everybody knows to say that the first town, and yet that's not true. It's all road.
Jay, a comment says, I love how this host discusses geography based on his feelings.
Yeah, it's how I feel. Yeah, how you mean? How you mean?
So, St. John New Road. Some people don't know. You know that, right?
Say again, Miss Henry?
New Road, below Carifta Village,
Yeah.
St. George. Some people...
She's right.
In that part
Right.
of it is
Because I
called-
think
it is called the West
St.
of
George's
George.
extends all the way up to Monkey Hill.
New Road.
Yeah, New Road.
Now,
Yeah.
the boundary for up there between
Wait.
St. Peters and St. George.
Wait. What do you
road.
consider New Road? Just to be clear.
See, at the end of the airport, where they have the...
No. Serious question. New Road, as in so the road that we drive up on that goes up, the long road that goes up, goes kind of
into Monkey Hill.
north along the airport east and then goes north.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the boundary comes across by the Moravian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Across the side of St. Peters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And then it goes up the middle of the road.
Oh, you mean wait. No, I'm confused now.
What?
On the other side of Taylor's.
Yeah.
Taylor's Road.
Yeah.
Which is actually in St. Peters. Remember, come from here in Jack Tie, come over the hill now?
So you're saying Washi is in St. Peters? That stumped you?
Miss Henry?
Miss Henry?
I'm going to my mind to say where Washi is.
Okay, because
Washi in Taylor's.
Well, is Taylor's St. Peters?
Washi in Taylor's, but then Washi is in St. Peters. But I don't think so.
Mm.
I remember it goes up to the back of the airport. The road comes
I think Washi in Bastille.
Some better say St. George, because some of them are not in Bastille.
Yeah, we could say St. George for sure.
That's a good point.
Not in Bastille, but it's in St. George.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's say St. George.
You find the vote in constituency too.
Yeah.
Now, what beats me, however, is up Pine Gardens, where there are people that say in constituency 3. I don't know how to get that though.
Well, electorally, it works. Whatever works, whatever is going to
I
work.
think Bastille is divided into 4.
Along the geographical boundaries.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd have to say that electoral considerations are different. They're necessarily going to be counter to the geographical reality, right?
Well, you know, the people who live in New Road housing.
Yeah.
Did I say I'm mainly Monkey Hill? No.
That's a thing. Like New Road and Monkey Hill is two, and Shadwell is it's almost like 3 factions.
What's up with that? What's up with that pejoritization of these areas in people's head?
We can't say it on the air, but I understand.
Miss Henry, what is up with this people's pejoritization of where they live? Like you say, you tell someone that, like you'll tell a Sandy Pointer they live in the country and they get offended. Like country is a neutral term.
But
it's not.
But you see, what we have to understand what country is, because
Imagine country before them and country after them, and they said they ain't in country. I had some workers at the planning unit. They said, I don't go on a country bus. And said,
well,
I said, madam, you got to pass all road challenges. All of those is country.
But
I don't go on country bus. They don't go on country bus.
But the thing is about it, right? You know, people say country. The term country comes from the fact that it's away from the capital, which is Bastille.
Not so. It goes with status, though.
Is what?
It goes with status, social status.
Social status?
Yes. People down Sandy Point consider themselves better educated, maybe better mannered, you know what I mean? No, it's true. They have a history of when they had high school and grammar school.
Oh my gosh.
All the top students. They produce a lot of top students. And, you know, and a lot of them would have worked in the sugar, not in the cane field per se, in the sugar factory and in the businesses in town.
I want somebody from Sandy Point call on this thing here right now.
Their main workplace would have been in the fields. You get it?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Why?
Look at Portland village. Some people don't think so.
Land's what?
Portland is part of the village.
Okay. Yeah, but because
when they bought the land to extend Bastille, and they took part and put up Haynes because it was flat.
Mm-hmm.
They had to do a lot of blowing up of land, stone and whatever to get Portlands.
Right.
But because the people of the upper class live there,
mm-hmm.
they don't see themselves connected in any way to the village. But they're part of the village.
yeah, you know, I realize how a lot of classism and like social.
Well, it was worse when I was small.
Yeah.
I was all the people who bank manager, ministers. I don't mean government ministers, right? Like the Anglican and whatever. And the people down there, they all had gardens, and the children from Hainsmith and Trafalgar work in the gardens and small. And the women as cooks or washers or looking after the babies. And in some cases, the wife of the man did not work. So they had to call them mason boss and the children boss too, you know.
Really?
You mean really?
Wow.
You mean,
you can't question this, Henry.
You see where the plaza is around the fort, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Boy, when it's small, you go there, they run you.
Really?
That is where the white people should bring out their children in the afternoon in the pram, or the children would play. And if they met a black person from the village, they scoot you away.
What time period was this?
Man, I sure must say all up to the... And I was in the 70s for sure. I
70s?
I left the village in 70 when I got married. I went to Newtown. But all the time you're growing up, and remember, you know, they had orchards in the back of the yards. So all the houses had mangoes and whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, village children going to jump the fence.
Yeah, children.
Yeah, you know, because they had where we live, and so you ain't going to space on the mango trees.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who went to factory school or convent school.
Yeah.
They were driven.
Mm-hmm.
We went to school barefooted. You know, up to the 1980s, children were still going to school barefooted.
I heard.
Up to where?
The 1980s.
I heard that one there.
When they introduced uniforms, that's when Pam was in.
Wow.
Because I was part of the educational the group.
Okay.
And they said the children have to wear shoes and socks. Some of the parents were all upset, we're going to get the farm. And then they put them in uniforms, you know, to get a kind of egalitarian society.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the difference between the have and the have some.
It's flattened a lot with the uniforms, yeah.
Stark.
Yeah.
So, you know, some villages were considered poorer than some. I come from Hainsmith, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are this kind of better than them too. We were better than the people from Trafalgar.
Yeah.
And we better than the children from Buckles and St. Johnson.
Wow.
So it showed up in the classes we were in when we went to senior school.
That's
the majority
crazy.
of those who came from the village in 1A1. They came from Hainsmith. Because the truth is, when you live so near the sea, Limekeel, you know, the children them go there and they go pull in boat and they go and look. You know, and sometimes the parents gone to work. Nobody there to make them go to school. So it's only the parents who took a lot of thing with the children actually ended do well in school. And the estates themselves were recruiting the children.
The ones that didn't go to school?
But even if they go to school, they would beg the parents. I remember my mother. My mother worked in the gang. And they used to pick what they call stock meat. You ever hear about stock meat?
No, what's that?
Explain.
I think it should be called stock. It's the top of the cane. They cut off the top of the canes when they're cutting them.
Mm-hmm.
And they would tie them in heaps.
Mm-hmm.
And the estates kept horses and cattle and that kind of stuff.
And they fed them with that.
Oh, stock
It's like
meat.
garages, so that they pay the women. So the women will carry their children before school to help them collect, because you have to collect so many bundles. I think it was 36 bundles to make a pile.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother would ask my 3 brothers, because they were born before me.
Mm-hmm.
Before they got to school, they would go and help my mother collect, they would say pick. You talk about pick stock meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said one day, the
Oh,
manager.
stock meat.
Yeah.
STALK. Oh, I was thinking.
No, I
stock.
think it's supposed to be stock.
Stock, because it's livestock, right?
Oh, stock meat.
So
okay.
so meat is
Okay.
like the
But
food.
you realize either word would work.
It would work, but I
Stock-
understood
stock
exactly. No,
meat,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Stock meat.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
stock. But we had stock, we had our own English, stock meat.
That's.
So he came and he saw my brothers helping my mother. He said, Miss Berner, you know you could increase your pay if you let the boys work on their own. My mother was both incensed. She said, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
None of my children coming in here behind me in this camp field. And she stuck to her word, They used to recruit them as young as 10. They worked them at the tractor.
That's before you had like labor laws and them thing too. Oh
That
Lord.
all the laws were in the book.
Oh Lord.
But remember, if you're that poor,
Right, like anything
you
go.
know, to make sure nobody was giving the aid.
Oh wow.
So for your family to survive, the children had to go and work. Now some parents made this sacrifice and sent their children to school regularly.
Right.
Even when I was teaching down in Trinity,
Mm-hmm.
a lot, certain times in the year, when it's food time, mango, guava, they go all up at Atlas level. Or when they're cutting cane or the whipping potato.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the children. You feel sorry for them because they have to go and help the parents. You think that the parents are wicked. That was how life was. So our children nowadays, they wake up, the breakfast on the table,
Yes.
they have choices.
Right.
Our choice was take it or leave it. Either boiled potato or roast potato. Potato and spread. Or you get bread.
Uh-huh.
No relish. You know the relish thing, right?
Yeah.
No relish in the bread.
No, so it's just dry bread, sappy bread, as I say.
Dry bread, or we live near a shop. You could go by the shop and the shop owner would take the ladle and wipe it in the bread.
Uh-huh.
And you feel
feel good.
Better than a hamburger.
Me mother's here.
That's it. And lemonade. You come home for lunch. Sugar water. There was a cane field. You see how where Buckley's, the whole Buckley's I tell you about was cane field.
Yeah.
When lunchtime, chewing garden did a break. The break came for lunch.
Are you serious?
Amazing. But that ain't a joke, The
No,
school used to be in the Methodist Church. And the one above it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were there from 1940 until 1958.
Right.
A lot of children used to go to them. Where you going over?
You mean across the road from the Methodist Church in the village? There was cane there?
Yeah, that was village school. The church was built in 1939 and in 1940. Because remember that there was no school in the village.
Oh, so that was village school. Okay.
The Methodist Church on Russell
was the
Street?
upper section of the school.
At the top.
And the church was the lower section.
Okay.
So when lunch time is going to work in the camp, if it's not potato time, what you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to put bread or go home to drink sugar water? They go in and you eat your belly fill to your belly. Blah, begging. Some mango trees were in the village.
Jamsta, you ever had swank?
Yeah, but you mess around when you're a kid.
Okay.
You go in the kitchen and do all kind of concoctions with it, you know.
Okay.
Can't tell you in that now.
Yeah.
No, but
If you got swank, you're glad you got swank.
right,
I mean,
right.
you just go across, break some cane, you eat out the whole of the middle of the cane field. Or you eat when mango in,
Right.
your mother ain't got to feed you.
Right,
You see
because
what
mango
you call
every
my
year.
tinley? What you call my tinley?
Mm-hmm.
There was mango, I don't know what happened to them now, mango trees from the bottom all the way up to the mountain.
Boy.
So all the children from the villages will get a mango season about 4 o'clock in the morning, New Year.
Everybody was probably going bathroom quick, eh?
I guess.
Everybody got, there's a Calodia River. Are you going up in Buckley's Mountain?
This
Man,
is
you eat
funny.
mango till the mango boil.
But there somebody in the comments.
I learned later that mango boil was because of a vitamin A deficiency. And so when you start to eat so many, you're cutting boils.
Oh gosh.
But,
Not deficiency, kind of toxicity, like a light toxicity. I read that somewhere that because if you eat too many, you could actually get diarrhea.
Why?
What?
From it's sort of like vitamin A poisoning, sort of.
You don't get diarrhea. You just go bathroom fast.
You get a deficiency, and now you're overloading the system.
You're overloading the system, yeah.
So mango boil used to be the common thing. Your mother would give you thing to flush out your system.
Well, I guess I was.
So, like when you talk about it now, it sounds distant, you know, like slavery.
Yeah. I remember as a kid.
Even if it passed you, you can't associate with it.
I remember as a kid, right? We had like 3 mango trees in the yard and grafted mango, right? And
Mango in the food.
I would eat so much mangoes that when they call me to eat, I can't eat, my belly full.
I too. I love mango that much.
Yeah. So
And look, once it, and sometimes mango in, guinea in, or fat pork in.
I'll tell you about fat pork.
They're missing.
Miss Henry, here's
They get in lunch in school that we used to get on a Sunday. You could imagine that? I don't eat that.
Wow. Yeah. Miss Henry, hear this comment. Hear this comment here. Gwyneth Samuel says, sometimes bread with a little sweet oil, now known as cooking oil.
Oh, yeah. And it tastes good too, you know.
Bye.
You open the bread in the middle and you
I
put in your
kind of
cooking
glad
oil.
I commit things kind of done start out. That's
Yellow
crazy.
butter in the bread. You know the other day when they had the Culturama, they had this thing with the bread and the yellow butter.
They actually did that?
Nowadays they're telling about cholesterol. I don't understand from when to get cholesterol.
Well, the body makes cholesterol, but no.
But she's talking about like the high cholesterol thing. Yeah.
The amount of pigs now, corn, pork, and we eat. They had none in those days. I don't know. I think we don't work hard enough.
No, I think we just didn't know about it. It wasn't. It wasn't in our consciousness. No, but we don't. No, but we don't know whether it was killing us or not, because I don't think doctors were thinking about those things. Oh well, even if they were, it wasn't apparent. You know.
That was survival, you know.
It was.
I am on a school lunch. Let me tell you, I'm paying tax here. I am paying tax. You better eat.
Here's another comment here, Miss Henry. This is from Fidel O'Flaherty Jr. He said, Dad gave me stories of going to school without shoes, and then when they introduced uniforms, old man Willie Dorr used to do inspections of the uniforms and fingernails.
That was before uniform, and I remember Mr. Dorr was an inspector. Everybody afraid him. Teachers afraid him. The time he used to go with the same day moved the school from the chapel into the old grammar school, the grammar school up by the park. And you know, at the back of the grammar school, you know the hill. You get a cardboard and you slide down the hill and end up in the drain. At the time the reservoir used to run full and heavy, you know. So a lot of water used to be in the drain. Anyway, anytime anybody spot Mr. Dorr vehicle coming, boy, everybody reaching the schoolyard before he park. If he catch you outside and he identify you getting licks. You know. But the uniform thing was in the 80s. when they started to introduce preschool, and I was there when the teachers chose the pattern that they wanted for the school. Some parents complain, but it was better for the children because you have children shabbily dressed. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, some of them were refusing. Our children don't know, they're going to school, like they're going to work.
Well, times have
they're dressed to
changed.
kill.
The times have changed. I remember my grandmother used to tell me that she used to have to basically hunt for her dinner. Yeah, she used to have to go down the bear and she used to have to fish.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man, and prepare herself. Yeah, that was the way of life. Like we were basically like.
Or you wait until the boat come in.
Yeah, and you buy from the
Pull up
fisherman.
the boat. You remember pull up boat?
Yeah.
And when they have the net, we can't sail.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of that. Not like as rich as that, but because, I kind of grew up with, I can call it country. Me and care what people say. I can say what I feel. Me and care what people in the comments say. I can say what I feel.
Well, someone here in the comments is affirming the whole idea, the whole idea of country, because I do feel like some people.
Once you leave Bastia, right?
Yeah.
We say they're going country people.
Yeah, that's country to me.
All of them just.
People say country start where A69 stop the liver. 869 to go.
I don't understand how Sandy Point people get so. They go on as fast as that they're the first town. That's not true.
That would be Old Road, right?
No. Old Road. Yeah, Old Road was the first town. Yeah.
But they would argue down the place because they think that the better. And hear them, boy. When I come into town from the time by the drinks factory, I smell. Nasty stink. You so annoy me here. You could tell when you reach town. Anyway, God bless all my old former workers. They have this thing, they take it serious.
Right.
And so if they don't go in St. Paul's bus, now tell me. The bus passing through there, what is wrong with that? They rather stand up there until the bus says they're going to Sunny Point. Right, poor.
Okay, Mr.
Anyway, that's enough.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back. Yeah, let's do this. It's 9:47.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Pour me out some stones, ginger wine for me. You'll never feel alone. Original taste. Stone ginger wine will never fade away. The wine for me and the next generation.
A legacy lasts forever. The original ginger wine, established in 1740. Stone's ginger wine.
Pour me out some stones, ginger wine for me. The wine for me and the next generation.
Live your legacy responsibly with Stones.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high-five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties of life and live a little. Get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties.
Enjoy Creamy Novelties ice cream, distributed by Rams Trading. Live a little.
Okay, we are back. It's 12 minutes until 12 o'clock. Until 10 o'clock. Well, where did that come from? So we are, let's see. Okay, so we are back here. Let's see. There's a comment here. Someone saying students have to go home. I don't know about this. I could see how this could be real. As JB was just saying, the fact that some people had to walk miles to get to school. But yeah, there's just a comment here saying students had to go home for lunch at 11:30 and return to school at 1 p.m.
Right.
But you know what's funny? I don't understand how it was that even as a kid,
right,
we used to go home. Okay, we used to get 70 minutes for lunch, right?
70.
70 because 10 minutes to 12. And then you go back for 1. And granted, I live close by.
So that means you break in for 11:50. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It is. I think it's like that still.
Well,
there's an extra 10 minutes.
I ain't about that, but when the bell ring, the teacher used to say, the bell is not for you, it is for me.
Yeah, they were always with that, yeah.
Yeah.
But people used to walk home for lunch. You have lunch and you walk back to I guess it wasn't as hot now.
Right.
It wasn't as hot as it is now, because to me, you used to walk home for lunch, eat lunch, take your time, eat your lunch, and you get back to school with like maybe 15 minutes to spare before 1 o'clock. I don't know. I don't know how we used to do it.
I don't know how they used to survive. What is the nutritional value of bread and oil? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, boy.
Okay. A caller. There's a commenter here. You can call now. I have to point out again that the caller is making the point that we had Miss Henry on for kind of long, which is true. But no one was calling at the time. That's the problem. So caller, what you should do, if you hear someone on the line, let's say for example you hear them on the line, if just call a number. If the number is busy, then you should use the other numbers. The two numbers that are available are 466-0989 and the 662-0989. So let's say you call 466-0989 and you hear someone on the line, then you know. You hear it busy, then you know, okay, so let me use 662-0989 or vice versa. So I take the point, but a lot of times I let people speak provisionally, as in there's nobody calling,
right?
I let them talk.
And you know, to the person that commented on that, I can say that I can enjoy Miss Henry's history stories, her stories from back then. And we're leading into independence, and it's very important that we appreciate exactly where we came from.
Absolutely.
Right? So, you know, Miss Henry, once again, big up. I know you're listening. Thank you.
This person makes a good point, because I've always wondered about this. And the simple thing is really just wasn't as hot. We thought it was hot, but it wasn't. This tech guy Ken, he says, that was before climate change. Even back in the 2000s, it wasn't so hot. Something changed back in the 2010s, yeah. Lunch was not served in school up to the 1980s. No, actually, lunch, they started that in the 80s. But not all the schools had it. It was just the primary schools. I know that there was some pilot schools at first. Like it wasn't all the schools that started. You could say they started as a pilot in some schools, and then they rolled it out.
School meal is still a thing now?
I think so. Yeah, it's up.
But I don't know where the office is, up by Wellington Road. Yeah. Okay.
So call. The lines are free now. So yeah, I'm really trying my best here. If Miss Henry or any other caller is on, if there's a call coming in, I try my best to get the person to rap so that we can take the other call.
Right.
Or I put conference on even and take the two calls at the same time.
Right.
Let them kind of be polite to each other and let each other talk.
But hopefully they ain't come with some island coffee instead of island tea, because yeah.
So okay, here we go. Caller, go right ahead. It's 9:53. Hello, caller.
That's the station?
Yes,
it's the station.
Go right ahead.
This is Win FM. How can we help?
It's the police station. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just called to back up Miss Henry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because some of what she's saying is true. Because I'm from the country, and you know, it was harder, right? You didn't have no bed to sleep on. You had to take a grass bed, and you had to sleep under the floor, under the bed, because it's only one bed. And if it's more than one children, you roll and you piss on one another. When you get up, everybody is send them.
What do you mean? What do you mean under the bed?
No, No, you had one bed, one big
But-
bed for everybody.
So people slept under the bed on the floor?
I guess it's like
Children have to sleep under the bed
as like cover.
with they call it lodging.
Yeah, lodging. Yeah.
You know, if it's more than one children under there, you roll and you keep it on one another. When you wake up, you say, "Hey, me." You know, so nobody do it, and you have to take them out and either wash it or hang them to dry. So it wasn't so easy long time. So just call in to agree with some of what she's saying. Understand?
I would have moved.
Okay, that's yeah. We trust me. We're hearing you.
You have more to say, but that's just for next time. But I just tune in and I hear her. So I say when I call in to back her up, right?
Okay. All right. Thank. Great Wayne.
Are you sir?
I said great Wayne. Great call.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. Wow, that's interesting.
I had to move out.
I didn't know that was
I
a
had to
thing.
move out.
Somebody says bunk bed style, except there was only one bunk.
Basically.
Right. You know what? Yeah.
And you won't feel necessarily the pressure on top based on how the bunk is. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like sponge or like something.
Yeah.
You know? Why?
Wow. One thing I wanted to know though, I'm assuming that Fort Lands includes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Don't go into that yet.
What?
Like you're gonna activate something else.
Why?
Don't activate. Okay. I remember this one time. So, you know, I could only recollect the stories that my parents used to tell me. So I remember when my mother told us that when they were younger, what happens was, of course, street lights and so.
Okay.
You have a call?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Call a girl.
Good morning.
Oh, hey, good
Hello.
morning. Hey, good morning. He's there. Yeah.
You are being unfair in that you are putting the onus on the callers to control when they get on the air. You are the person who ought to say to a caller, "Thank you so very much. We've had X number of minutes." I'm sure there are other people out there who have other opinions. It is not the callers to decide, "I will keep calling or use an alternative number." It's up to you to manage the calls coming into your program.
Yeah.
I'll make one comment.
Yeah, I guess I'm too
on the
deferential.
many things that were
I'm
addressed.
too deferential sometimes to Miss Henry, I
The
guess.
subject of school. I attended the Bastia High School, and there were boys and girls who lived as far away as Buckley's. School adjourned at 11:45 and resumed at 1:15. And they walked to Buckley's for lunch and back. They walked to Village for lunch and back. They walked to the furthest edges of Newtown and back. Those who lived, the only people who caught the bus to Connery were workers who had a certain level of income. But everyone else walked from Connery to Bastia. And the school bus did not accommodate children. There was no primary school in Connery. They went to the primary school in Newtown. And even when school buses were introduced, the school bus did not accommodate children from Connery. They continued to walk to school. So life was quite different. And may I assure you, the sun isn't any hotter than it was.
You think?
Then. It is just that our tolerance for things is greater. At the Bastia Boys School, our only air conditioning was the open windows around the building and the breeze blowing across the park and up from the Anglican church next door. We had no air conditioning. We had one large room. The classrooms were separated by the blackboards and easels of the individual classes. No one complained it was too hot to study or concentrate. And many of the stories that Ms. Henry told were quite accurate. And like you, even as a child, I was confused with this phrase, "stalk meat." until my father explained that it is stock, as in animals, and that's the meat that animals eat. But that we dragged out the star and called it stock meat. So
Yeah.
I first thought it was STORK and wondered, why are these birds, why are these animals, these four-footed animals, eating the meat that birds would be eating, thinking it was from stock. So.
Well, when I heard it today, I thought it was
Very
STALK.
interesting, very interesting
I understood
program.
it was STO.
I would encourage you to avail yourself of, there are not many of them in circulation still, but there's an official map that used to be sold by the government printing office. They don't have any anymore, but they clearly delineate where the parishes are, because this information is being used, this information is being used by both the Electoral Commission and the Inland Revenue when delineating locations for purposes of taxation and setting boundaries on the island as to where the parishes begin and end. The challenge we have today is that those at the planning level have become lazy, and we now, rather than giving places when they become residential neighborhoods, rather than giving them new names, we add on this disgusting, nasty word, extension. Ponds extension, Limekeel extension, Keys extension, Molyneux extension, rather than saying, here's a new development. No one said Bastille extension when Frigate Bay was developed.
Exactly.
And we speak about Fort Lands, they gave it a new name. They didn't say Bastille extension. They didn't say Fry's Village isn't Bastille extension or College Street extension.
Yeah.
They gave it a unique name. And so it is unfair to people who live in what is effectively a new neighborhood to simply treat them as an appendix
Yeah,
to someone else.
or you could
these
say
individual
almost like
locations.
a bureaucratic exercise,
Right?
Because that's what it is.
Yes, and further also we use the word project. The project is
Yes,
something
thank
in
you.
progress. When
Thank
it's
you.
over, it now should get a name.
Yeah, or housing.
So,
housing,
that's
like
my 2 cents for this morning.
yeah. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Like where I live, it says Bladen housing. I don't put housing. It's
Say they put
Bladen.
Bladens?
Why is it? He's right. Project and extension and housing, ridiculous. You don't agree?
I'm indifferent.
You're indifferent.
I'm indifferent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
I
we
guess.
just
It's
have to,
different for you, I guess.
I mean, you see, because it's like, you know what? Okay. I can't. I don't have the necessary. I just can't comment on these things. It's just like it's neither here nor there. For
You
me.
don't have the necessary sensitivities, I guess.
Like, it's just.
I'm just
cool.
playing. I have a comment here I'm going to read before we wrap. It's from Lava Ground. Let's not forget the reason why your great grandparents lived like that. It was because of hundreds of years of slavery and deprivation. Nothing to be fond of when you think about it. True. And one other thing, I know that caller, he said, so you could see they changed the lunch hour times, because when I went, it was, I think when I was in primary school, it was 11:45. But then when I went to Bastille High, it became 11:50 to 1. It used to be 11:45 to 1, I remember. Then they changed it to 11:50 to 1. But they actually had more time, I guess, because they knew some people had. But then I had people who used to walk down from the village with the same 11:50 to 1 o'clock. So I don't know. Yeah. Okay, John. So I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
It's wow.
Yeah, it's
sometimes you don't even see when it goes
that's
past
what I was
10.
telling you,
It's like, okay, I looked at it, it's just like, okay, it's just about 10 o'clock. And it's just like, wow, we're already 5 minutes over 10. That's crazy.
Yeah, so we're going to do this
Yeah.
tomorrow. And Kortensia will be with us tomorrow, so don't worry. Yeah, so all the people,
oh my God,
all the conspiracy theorists out there who think, God, she's going to be here tomorrow, don't worry. So let's do this again tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow
All right.
on the next Island Tea.
Okay, cool.
Over and out. Boom.
Over and out.